Welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to talk about SASE, and I'll be getting a lot of questions about what makes SASE a SASE product. Now SASE stands for Secure Access Service Edge, and we're going to talk about the two elements that I believe are requisite for a product to really be labeled as SASE. Hi, I'm Steve Murphy. I'm a Vice President at ARG, and while I work for ARG, this video is my own and not necessarily a reflection of the views or opinions of my employer. This channel is all about helping IT leaders make great business decisions. And SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, has really taken the marketplace by storm over the last, let's say, 2.5 years since Gartner coined the term. I've got a video describing, several videos actually, describing SASE. I'll put a link to one of them here in this video, and if you're interested in how SASE actually works and how it's defined, you can find some more details there. This video is about questions I get specifically around SASE and how to differentiate from the marketing materials that end users and consumers of security products are seeing, and trying to determine whether or not that product is really a SASE product. So in giving this some thought, I came down with two key elements, and Gartner has already defined these elements, so it's not any special brilliance on my part. I wish it was. But there are two key elements out of the many elements that Gartner and the industry attributes to a SASE platform. And the first element is a single pass platform. And what do I mean by that? So today, in a typical security stack, as packets are traveling through that stack, they are getting multiple passes. Each element of the security stack takes that packet and evaluates it for its own purposes, frequently decrypting it and doing a deep packet inspection, for example, every time it passes through a different stage of the security stack. A SASE solution is a single pass platform. That means that they're going to inspect that packet and evaluate that packet one time, and they're going to evaluate it for the entire portfolio of services that you've subscribed to within that SASE platform. So for example, when a packet is coming into the environment, coming into the SASE environment, not necessarily your network yet, but just the SASE environment, the context of that packet is going to be established. Is this coming from a machine that is running the agent, for example? Is the endpoint protection up to date on this machine? Is it coming from a known IP address or a new IP address? Is that IP address geographically relevant to what we understand about that user, or far removed from what we understand about that user's typical location? It's going to associate the user ID and the relevant permissions that that user has to that packet. It'll decrypt and do a deep packet inspection to make sure there's no suspicious payload in that encrypted packet. It will do the DNS filtering. It will identify the application that is associated with that packet and assign a routing optimization for that particular application. And it'll do the CASB scanning for sensitive information. Now, in a traditional environment, as I originally said, with multiple passes, you might have your firewall doing deep packet inspection. You might have your secure web gateway doing deep packet inspection. You might have your IDS IPS doing deep packet inspection. All of these individual steps, essentially doing the same thing, introduces latency, complexity, and the opportunity for loss within that environment. And it's also super expensive. So in order to be a SASE platform, there needs to be a single pass story. It doesn't all need to be single pass yet. There are a lot of very good SASE providers out there that have not yet consolidated their entire application into one platform to accomplish that single pass strategy. But you should at least understand their roadmap for getting to a single pass solution. That brings us to the next element, key element that you need in a SASE solution. It has to be cloud-based. Real SASE solutions should not be requiring heavy appliances to be installed at customer locations. SASE is about bringing security to end users wherever they are in whatever context they want to use resources. You can't do that if you're relying upon a heavy appliance at particular locations. That means that the SASE solution has to be cloud-based, and this gives you scalability, the ability to add hundreds of users at a time, for example, after an acquisition. It gives you the ability to have consistency, a single control plane across your entire organization. That really is only possible in a cloud-based environment. You have a management platform that is being maintained over time, in real time, that you don't have to worry about. And you have many, many POPs that are close to where your users want to access the network. This prevents you from having to backhaul traffic a great distance to a cloud POP to establish that SASE connection. So those are the two key elements that I see in a SASE solution that I would use as qualifiers before you speak to vendors about beginning a SASE conversation. If you got some value out of this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and thank you very much in advance for doing that. If you want to continue the conversation and maybe talk about which SASE providers meet these criteria, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description of this video, and I'm happy to engage in any questions or conversations that you might have. I appreciate your time in watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.